Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be checking out episode 1161 of One Piece. I'm super excited because this should be Loki and Luffy kind of having a full-on conversation. This should also, I think, have some stuff with Robin that I'm really excited about. Just as a manga reader, I'm going to be super hyped about, I think, every single chapter of Elbaf. Especially, like, even I was, like, bigger on, like, the Legoland section, but especially from here on out, like every chapter has been incredible in my opinion. There's a couple like slower-ish ones, but everything that's been like planned and built up in Elbaf so far has been just chef's kiss. But yeah, I don't want to waste too much more time get into this episode. Danger Steel, Loki of the Wonderworld, and Luffy. Very excited. Also, just before I get into this episode, I just wanted to show this off. As it's not very often I pick up stuff, but I bought the Law light novel. Um, I've never read this. Some of the other like manga and stuff I pick up, I've usually read online before. But I've never found a place to read this before, so I'm really excited to get into it because if you don't know, Law is probably one of my favorite characters ever. So I just wanted to show that off to all my fellow One Piece fans. But yeah, I will get right into this episode. If you are new to my channel, this will be more of a watch along than just a reaction. So if you'd like the audio and/or full video, you can sync up with my copy. If not, you can see it blurred behind me and read the subtitles below me to follow along. I'll just give us a countdown. We can get right into this episode. Three, two, one, start. Oh, turn the volume up. There we go. Yeah, this should be an absolute treat. And I assume we're going to go right into the opening. Yeah, I just rewatched this not too long ago. I would probably say I was higher than most. At least I saw a lot of negative reactions when this opening first dropped from people. I have seen a lot of positives of it as well, but Egghead just had a lot of like incredible openings. This one has really been growing on me. The song and the visuals have always been incredible, to be honest. There's maybe a little bit more subtle than some of the more recent ones. But like this shot of them as like in the manga style transitioning into the big group shot. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited for all of these characters, to be honest. Even some of the stuff I wasn't initially sold on, like I wasn't a huge fan of like the whole plot line with the kids and whatnot that is upcoming. But the way Oda tied it into everything honestly led to one of the best chapters ever. And I think it was on Mother's Day last year when it dropped. Um I could be wrong about that. I might be actually. Uh but yeah, there's been everything that was set up in Elbaf really paid off. And other than that, everything else has just been peak. I just wasn't initially sold on it because I expected Elbaf to be slightly different, to be honest, just based off what we knew about it and like the introduction of being like a war country and everything like that. But I loved what Oda did. You always got to trust in my man. Kingdom of Elbaf. This also the introduction to Warland looked amazing. Giant sword. I was glad to see other people appreciating that shot of the giant sword like I was. Elbaf. Oh, no title card this week. Interesting. I kind of like that. World's End. And this is only like a panel or two, but the extendedness of it was so perfect. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. We also should get the previews and stuff. The animation looked really crispy. God, Loki's design is Oda absolutely cooked with him. What do you got to say, Luffy? I love the. Well, this is drawn out. It's done in a very nice way, and the animation is so nice. Yeah, bro's just excited. It's finally an Elbaf. Fully confirmed. And I mean, not something like Loki isn't gonna scare Luffy at this point. Oh, couldn't see. Seeing Elbaf animated is something special. I love the flowy animation, like on Luffy's cloak and everything when he's running around. I love how this first thought is about Usopp too. Bro's just got all the questions. Yeah, that is true. We usually only see a couple at a time. Oh, oh man, just seeing Luffy so happy. Oh man, the veins. Bro's fucking scream. Also, his voice. Oh my lord, his voice actor absolutely is cooking. It's the same guy who does Gojo, but it's so much more gruff and um like heavy. Got all that animals listening now. If I remember right, I think these are all pals with Loki. Looking good though this episode. And I feel like more recently they've been doing better with one chapter per episode. Interesting. Um it always looks so good. The legends of this kingdom. Luffy's big ass hat in that frame. Oh, title card. Oh, special government bounty 2.6. Oh, I'm sure there's a couple people I can think who enjoy being chained up a little bit. 6 years. Man, I forgot he was there for 6 years. I think that's fair. Mostly powerful in Elbaf. I don't think I would does have a devil fruit confirmed. I mean I knew that, but for anime onlys. I love him messing up his name. That's so fun. Oh, this is so cool. Seeing them together. Luffy's probably good. Because even if he did have a group he wanted to wipe out, he'd probably want to do it himself. Oh. Ooh, what a good shot for Luffy is feeling that presence. I love the demeanor change in Luffy during that scene. Underworld, the lowest level. The set levels of Elbaf are so cool. Because I love it's like so much darker and less bright here, and then up top is like much more beautiful. Dude, this OST I think is new. Don't quote me on that. I'm terrible with OSTs. Bleach is probably one of the only series I know by heart most of the OST. Giant presence. This scene may be slightly unnecessarily stretched out, but it looks really good. And I love. Okay, that is sick as hell. Is a prison and execution ground. Them rolling up like that shot was awesome. tens of thousands of years. The first world. Mythology. Fucking just munching on a rock. You good, dog? Why was he doing sharpening his teeth, maybe? The sun has died. Oh, beasts are nothing for Luffy. That is right up his alley. Oh, interesting. It's green like forestry. It almost looks like a tree a little bit, the mammoth. I actually love that wolf design. Paralleling Luffy a little bit. But as I said, very much right up his alley. The blue ape one, not a huge fan of that color, but the other ones look really good. I even like this. This one, the bear's a different color, but it reminds me of the Strong World one Luffy fights at the very beginning. I think I mentioned this last episode, but a lot of people underestimate the strength of animals in One Piece. um, but yeah, a lot of people underestimate the strength of animals in One Piece. I don't, but I also recognize Luffy's just an absolute menace. It never is a problem. Ooh, that movement. All Navy can snatch him. This is light work. I feel what Luffy does if he conquer hockeys. Or what, Oh, yeah! Shanks was here. Yeah. No, he didn't even conquer hockeys. He was just chilling with them. Bro's vibing. He's offering him some honey. Bro's just chill like that. So, Shanks used conquers hockey, but... Oh, he knows them, all right. Holy shit! Oh, that transformation was so quick. That was very manga accurate. Usually, I usually don't mind when animes extend the transformations, but they just went all out for that. Oh, even oh wow, the detransformation looks so good too. Bro, all the animals got spooked too. How about he was like immediately time out? We're overkill here. Sadly, no. In exchange for letting him out. Although, one thing I feel like some people often forget, Luffy's not only good at telling uh oftentimes like the true personality of a person, sometimes he's not, but a lot of the times he is, and his hockey kind of lets him feel like the emotions of people. Is kind of how it's described. Oh, these are the same two eye catchers. I thought we would get other ones. It might switch in a couple episodes though. I was already surprised that they've switched around so much. We're only like 6 episodes in. Yeah, bro's just got to deal with it. He'll get over it. Although this bridge is a little bit sketchy when you're this small. Sanji looks so interesting without the blue. Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess with the size difference, a little bit of movement on that bridge would be a lot. No, someone's running. I saw purple boots. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. Kaminari? Yeah. Is his outfit all gone yet? It is him. It's funny that the entire outfit just disintegrated, or he might have took it off after he got struck. Those ones should be coming to take him out. No, just wait a second. I love how as soon as stuff actually started going down, Usopp immediately locked in. Now that it actually matters, bro's just going for it. I love that. I don't know if I really caught that as much in the manga, but having him being his usual cowardly self, but as soon as it actually is like matters, locks in, he goes for it. And he didn't even just want Zoro to handle it because he has so much respect for the giants. Hey, my boy, with your fucking giant ass thunder thighs. He should. I think he meets up with Luffy and him soon here. Oh, the ghost! Stanson, I'm pretty sure. In one of the more recent chapters, he had a pretty great moment. His the art style on him looks especially good. His color, like his design and everything, matched up with Hiruden looks so good, and like the golden helmet. I feel like the golden helmet for Hiruden looks even better in this than when we saw him last time. That's the spirit, all right. Let's get it. Full bulking up. Oh, gee, look at those thighs. Every time I see this dude in Elbaf, it's when I've noticed it. Singing. Oh, I love that. Oh, we're getting a full title card and everything. Self-proclaimed. The next generation. Hiruden. Stanson. Roto. Goofy dude, but Goldberg. And Gerd. The goat. Stanson and Gerd, minus Hiruden because we already know him, but those two are my definite standouts of the group. Oh, we're on the coast of Elbaf, getting close. Oh, yay! Absolute cinema. I've also always loved that it's Brooke cutting her hair. I feel like it's such a fun combination. Because they also had some moments together in Wano that were fun. I also love seeing Bonnie hanging around the crew still. I I've also been a big fan of essentially now. Bonnie's especially been in Jesus Christ. Bonnie's especially been in a childlike form now that she feels so much more safe and whatnot. Oh, I remember Bonnie go with the mirror. Peak design. That's a skull joke. Oh, that's so cute. Man, this scene is even almost nicer in the anime. I've always wanted, though, you should have taken that cowboy hat that you're wearing and set it on her head. That would have been absolute cinema. But back to Robin's best design, at least hairstyle. I still think her original white outfit fit with cowboy hat, riding on the turtle and everything when she first appears is her best she's ever looked. Oh man, getting that flowy animation on the hair. He's getting ready, so she not only looks like how she used to look, but the last time Saul seen her, that's what she looked like as well. I always had the theory that Saul was alive, so I'm so glad that it actually played out. Yep. Bringing tears to his eyes. Bros. Oh, that's so fun. Oh, I love the crew so much. Yeah, facts. They know what's up. Oh, are we here? Oh, the episode's about to end. The real Elbaf. We got it the title card last episode, and now the whole crew's here. Oh, it looks so cool. The snow area at the bottom, and then the two layers of the giant atom tree. Honestly, after Lilith laughing at his joke, that's the funniest one of Brooks' puns have been in a while, to be honest. Because I'm an absolute Brook fanboy, but I do think some of his jokes are overused, but that's kind of the point of them. Oh, oh man, I feel bad for anime. I feel bad for anime onlys. I'm surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised they left that for the cliffhanger. I think that's how the chapter ended as well. Great episode. I am surprised. Like, this is what I've been talking about, though, where since we switched to seasonal, there's a very base level quality. And this was even above that. This episode, this was had some slow parts to it, but this is one of the better, not only animated, but just like the way the storyboards were, the art looked, and OST, and the way the episode flowed and everything felt super nice. I've I've been a sucker for Elbaf so far. It's a little bit the fact that we only do one chapter per episode will always be it's not actually I didn't mind as much being an anime only because I was able to dissect every like there's a lot in this episode. Like I remember when this chapter came out, it gives you more than enough to talk about for a week and theorize and whatnot. Um, I do understand though other manga readers that when they watch an episode they want a little bit more. But we do get like we get introduced to the new giant pirates, some new characters. Um we get the whole thing with Robin changing her hairstyle, them arriving at Elbaf, the tease with Saul, and then Luffy and Loki's interaction was incredible. Yeah, I'm so excited. I especially also love the way that I don't know if it was the anime highlighting it more or if that's how it was in the manga, but I love the scene with Usopp. Oh, that looks awesome. Uh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a good one as well. But yeah, I absolutely loved how they did the Usopp scene, where you got like the typical like Usopp jokes where um he was playing into the cowardliness of him. But the moment it truly mattered, the way he locked in and was like, let's fucking go. And like, there was no hesitation at all going across that bridge anymore. Um, I feel like that's often been a part of Usopp's character. Like, when it truly matters, he'll lock in. But the way it was demonstrated in this episode, especially, and the way Luffy talks about how, like, oh, I immediately wanted to talk to Usopp about it, and I think twice or three times in the like Legoland section, and like right when we get up, Luffy makes a couple comments toward Usopp, like, "Oh, you could have handled that lion yourself." It's just a couple things calling him out on like his cowardliness. So I think, and as a manga reader, there he does have some moments, and at one particularly great moment, but I think they're still building up to something more. But I have also always been of the opinion that I don't need Usopp's biggest moment to be in Elbaf. I think this needs to be a turning point for his character. Where I think, especially going to like the final arc, especially if he's going to be, which has always been like fan theories, that he's going to fight Van Augur. Um, I would love to see an incredible fight with him there. But in Elbaf itself, it's more about his character that I care about rather just a fight. Because other than the monster trio, even strong characters like even Jimbei, like he had a fight with who's who and whatnot, but it's more about him being a shipwright and whatnot. And a lot of these characters, other than like the main ones, aren't like primarily just about fights and whatnot. And occasionally we will get a really good fight, like Robin and Wano got her fight against oh god, why can't I think of her name? Um oh, that's gonna piss me off. Um the giant spider lady. Oh, that's gonna annoy me. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But yeah, against her and when with her like demon like form, that was all so awesome. I was actually personally a huge fan of the Jinbei Who's Who fight. Um, I especially love the scene of Jinbei going like full armament hockey, like the full covering, which is something we see occasionally characters do, but it's not a very common occurrence that we see that, so it's always fun in my opinion. Um, and I always like his fight against Susu. When the fights include this six path powers, it's always super fun. Those are some of the best techniques Oda ever came up with, to be honest. Um, and yeah, and like every once in a while, like the side characters will get great moments, but more often than not, it's usually the main trio doing the fighting and whatnot. Uh, so when it comes to Usopp, it's less about that this arc I need him to have a big giant fight. I just need him after this arc to essentially be that brave warrior of the sea, where he's not like running around scared anymore. Would be like my ideal outcome of this arc. I can still see Oda using it as a gag here and there, but I think um, during actual like important heated moments, I hope to see Usopp performing and and holding himself to a little bit of a higher standard. Um, but yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. But it's something that came to my mind while watching this episode. But yeah, I absolutely love the way the anime adapted the Robin haircut sequence. Because I really love this in the manga. It made me have the biggest fucking smile on my face seeing her back with this haircut. Um, and like, well, you could say it's stretched out. It was really well done. Like, a lot of the crew interaction here is really fun. And then like Bonnie, for example, coming up. Where is this scene? She like comes. Is it? It must be before. But yeah, she like comes up onto her like thighs, and there's a really cute sequence between those two. Yeah, right after this, I think, when she gets a mirror and whatnot. The stuff with Frankie and Brooke, and then the Brooke and Lilith joke. I'm always a sucker for when we get really good crew interaction moments. And we also had something where Luffy was calling back and like thinking back to past events. Um, And same with like Frankie and Robin's backstory. I love when the crew actually interacts and talks about the things that they do not together. I was always a little bit sad that like post time skip Return to Sabaody that we didn't get like a chapter about just them talking about all of the things that they did on their like solo adventures. I think that would have been super fun. Um, so whenever they actually refer back to things, and not just like in a flashback sense, but the characters actually reflecting on it, is always super fun. Especially like also Luffy with Shanks and whatnot. Um, just all really cool. Loki's voice actor is absolutely killing it. I can already tell the animation team loves Loki. I feel like he looks incredible. All the stuff with the animals and the I forget if they have a name or not, like the little people that are around Loki. Um and the next mention of Shanks, we got his bounty reveal. That was already cool. I think it's 2.6 billion. Yeah, a big bounty. And it's also a special government bounty, which I don't remember if other characters have one like that or how that works. Trying to think anything else throughout this episode. Oh, yeah, this whole sequence I love. Generally, I'm a fan of when they extend transformation sequences, especially with Gear 5, because I think in the manga, we only have one transformation for Gear 5 where we see it on screen, and it's when Luffy first does it. Every other time it happens like in between panels and stuff. At least I'm pretty sure. Maybe we have a couple more that I'm not thinking of. So that's always a treat. But I love this scene of like this. He immediately said that. There was not a second wasted time before he was going into an attack. That is so very un One Piece, but very much like the manga. So that was really fun. And this is also puts the worries around because I know some people after they saw partial gear 5, they're like, oh, so Luffy's never using partial gear 4. They're like, Luffy's never using it again. That's super annoying. But it's very much um I think I like his strength. Like I think like this version will always be a stronger attack. And also in this situation, it gave him the ability to fly up, which is not something he needed last time. So it also adds to the mobility of him and things like that, compared to just like buffing up a single punch. It is different. Something I also just wanted to comment on. But yeah, Loki, amazing. Also, getting to see Stanson, I was not expecting until I saw him in this episode. How excited I was gonna be to see him. I think because he doesn't like he has some lines of dialogue and whatnot, but in one of the later chapters in Elbaf, he has like a really awesome moment with Haruden, and like I remember seeing that in the manga, and it's something that I think the same thing happens to something in Gerd in that same chapter, and that because it's like a big moment in Elbaf. I remember that visually being super striking those moments and just like really hit hard. So it's cool that like seeing their introduction, they're very well introduced, like both Stanson and Gerd, which are definitely my personal two standouts of the Giant Pirates. But also I loved how they did the title card and showcased all of them. You can just feel the passion oozing off of the One Piece anime lately, and it's so incredible. Like, sure, honestly, the only because even the sound effects have been improving, but I would say the only problem I have now with the One Piece anime is that ideally I would like 2 chapters per episode. I don't even want like some people like talk about like 3 to 4 chapters. I do not want that for One Piece. That is way too much. One Piece chapters, especially in modern day chapters, are so packed that you just can't have episodes flow that well, especially with the amount of dialogue that it oftentimes. Um, and sometimes I like the extended sequences and the way they stretch out some things. It's mostly just when they're like slowly panning over something or it's not visually appealing. Like even I called out a slower paced moment was like all of the animals coming. That's obviously one of the moments that they use to um, space out the episode, but the actual animation of that sequence and everything looked really good, so it didn't feel bad, and I was very much okay with that. And like there was so many good frames this episode. And I especially the shot of all of I think it's back a little bit more. Um there's a shot of all the animals walking up together that looks really awesome. Um so that's just really fun. And the cutaway from them all showing up being so ominous to just chilling with Luffy and he didn't even use Conqueror's Hockey is so fun. But you can tell the anime staff loves Loki. He looks so good. I'm really excited whenever he gets like action scenes and stuff, what they do with him. Um, and this is for the next little bit. I'm gonna be talking about spoilers about the manga. There has been like a debate and talk about Loki joining the Straw Hats, and people are always like, "That can't happen because he's giant." Rewatching this episode, I think there's a potential that he ends up on the new Giant Pirates, and then he's essentially still somewhat under Luffy, but as like an affiliate, and he might either be co-pirates with um Haruden, like Dorian Broggy, or it's going to be he either is like his second hand or takes the place of Haruden as the captain. But I could see them being co-leaders of the new Giant Pirates, very much in the vein of Dorian Broggy. And then we have that sort of like how neither Carrot nor Yamato. I'm still hoping Yamato comes back. I would love Carrot as well, but Carrot's position became leading all of the Mings, which is essentially another faction, not under Luffy, but very much an ally of Luffy. Um, and it seems like I'm assuming this is building up to the final war, final like true conflict. We have a lot of different sides, and now like a lot of them are like no. It's almost like we have three sides, basically two, because the Revolutionary Army would kind of be with Luffy's side as well, but it's essentially like the revolutionaries, the government, and then actually no, you could do it. The government, Blackbeard, all of his, the revolutionaries, and then like Luffy's group, and that would include like the Minks, Wano, Fishman Island. Like there's a lot of people that would be willing and go to action for Luffy, and I could see very much like Carrot and like Vivi and all those that were like very much potential Straw Hat characters, but ended up going to like lead their own things, coming back around um in that sort of way. So I think there's a real chance that, and I didn't really think about that until this episode for some reason. I don't feel like I've heard people talk about it, but I could very much see at the end of this arc, as long as both of them survive, that they end up being co-leaders of the giant pirates. And I think that would be a fun parallel, especially with the way they portrayed it in this episode. I assume in the manga as well in this section about it being the next generation of the giant pirates after Dorian Broggy. Um, and I feel like that would just round out that group even more. That would put probably Loki, like, because Loki, also spoilers for the manga, but is significantly stronger than Haruden. But Haruden is also portrayed as fairly strong, so there would be a slightly power imbalance between them as co-leaders, but I don't think that would necessarily affect it because they are technically also like brothers. So there's a close bond between them as well, even though they might not show it. Um, so yeah, I think that's a real potential for the end of this arc. Other than that, just very excited every week. I will always be glazing the One Piece anime probably because I love reading the manga every week. But every time I usually read a manga chapter, I'm like, man, I can't wait to see this in the anime. There are some moments that I occasionally see in the manga, and I'm like, oh, this can't be topped even in the anime. Um, like even though the Loki like introduction was absolute peak in the anime, I still think seeing that chapter for the first time and flipping over to the Loki reveal panel and seeing that drawing of him, it was so good. Oda has been cooking every single like so much with the character designs in Elbaf. I feel like he also cooked with the Gorosei, and their designs. Emu in the manga's design's incredible. There was a new design just revealed, a new chapter. It looks incredible, like just absolute cinema nonstop, and I'm always here for it. But yeah, other than that, I'll catch you guys all later, and I hope you enjoyed this watch along. Peace.